Today we are going to learn about moving coil galvanometer. This device is used to detect the flow of current. The principle behind the function of the moving coil galvanometer is whenever the current carrying rectangular coil, when it is kept within the magnetic field, that rectangular coil it will experience a torque. Are you clear? So that torque that gives you the deflection, because of the torque you are able to measure the or detect the flow of current. Okay, now we will see the parts, that is construction part of the galvanometer. Here in between the magnetic field there is a rectangular coil that is made up of aluminum. That frame of the rectangular coil that is made up of aluminum. I am showing you the real part of the galvanometer. Here this is made up of, that rectangular frame is made up of aluminum on which a single copper wire that is wound on the rectangular framical work. Are you clear? So here a single wire that is wound on the rectangular frame. That copper wire that has two ends, two free ends are there. That reddish color line that shows the two end of the copper wire. Are you clear? One end of the copper wire that is connected with a hairspring. That hairspring that is made up of a metal called PASP bronze. It is an alloy. Are you clear? On the other end, the same rectangular frame and the copper wire, everything is suspended with the help of another wire that is also made up of PASP bronze, on which a small mirror is attached. Are you clear? Here this rectangular coil that is suspended in between the two magnetic field. Usually the magnetic field that is provided by horseshoe magnet, north pole and south poles are there, within which magnetic field is there. The rectangular coil that is suspended. That's why this is called as moving coil galvanometer, because the coil is going to move or it gets deflected. That's why this is called moving coil galvanometer. Are you clear? The free end of the spring and the free end of that top roof, there that PASP bronze wire is suspended. Therefrom another connection is taken. So here the wire is extended here. These two ends are called T1 and T2. With the help of the terminal T1 and T2, you can send the current, you can pass the current through the circuit. So when current flows through the PASP bronze wire as well as through the copper wire, again it flows through the PASP bronze, again it comes through the wire, and the current goes out through the terminal T2. So when current flows through this, what will happen? Here in this rectangular coil, torque will act. Are you clear? Later I will tell you how the torque acts. Now here there is a powerful lamp is there. So the light which comes from the powerful lamp, it is allowed to pass through the slits. Are you clear? So here there is a slit. Through the slit, the powerful beam of light that is allowed to pass through, and it is made to incident on the mirror. After incidence, the light gets reflected. The reflected light that is made to fall on a lamp and scale arrangement. Here there is a transparent scale. In the middle of the transparent scale, 0th division is there. When current is not flowing, if there is no torque, it is made to incident in such a way that the reflected beam of light that is made to exactly fall on the 0th division of the lamp and scale arrangement. Are you clear? So this is the simplest arrangement. Here with the help of this we are going to detect the flow of current. Here already I have shown about the rectangular coil in which a single wire that is wound, is clear, with several number of turns. Here this rectangular coil that is fitted within the soft iron core support. This is called the cylindrical part. That cylindrical part within which the rectangular coil, it will move like this. It moves like this. So whenever current flows, what will happen? The rectangular coil, it will experience a torque, no? the torque it acts because of the flow of current. So with the help of the soft iron core support alone, this rectangular coil is placed. Are you clear? And then this entire thing that should be kept within the magnetic field. Here this is the magnetic field arrangement. This kind of magnetic field arrangement is called radial magnetic field. What is this? Radial magnetic field. So when the coil, when it is kept within this, if it is kept like this, look at that. The coil will be placed like this. So when it turns at all positions, maximum amount of torque will be created. Are you clear? Maximum amount of torque will be created. That's why we are using radial magnetic field arrangement. Are you clear? Now I showed the magnetic field, rectangular frame and then soft iron core. Now look at the arrangement. Everything is very compactly, it is kept within the magnetic field. Inside that soft iron core is there and then the rectangular frame is there. So all arrangements are available within the radial magnetic field. Are you clear? Now we are going to understand what will happen when current passes. Let us imagine the current is flowing in this conductor. So the current starts flowing from T1 and it flows through the wire and it flows through the pass bronze. Again it flows through the copper wire. The same current that flows through the copper wire, through the windings, again it comes out. Again it flows through the spring. Again the same current, it flows through the terminal T2. Are you clear? So when current flows, what will happen? That is the question now. Now when current flows, there will be a torque. The name of the torque is called deflecting torque. What is this? Deflecting torque. Look at the arrangement here. The same rectangular coil that is shown here, for the sake of our convenience, it is drawn in some other form. Here the name of the end of the rectangular coil is named as PQRS. PQRS. These two portions can be taken as length. These two portions can be taken as breadth. In between PQ, the length is L. In between QRS, the breadth is B. Are you clear? Now, when current flows, we have to use the Fleming left-hand rule. Are you clear? Which rule? Fleming left-hand rule. With the help of Fleming left-hand rule, we can say, clear, in which direction that the magnetic Lorentz force is acting. Are you clear? So, as I already told, the current is traveling in through the terminal T1. Are you clear? When the current travels through the terminal T1, the same current flows through the coil, again it comes out. Now I will show my fingers. With the help of the finger, you have to say in which direction that Lorentz force is acting. Here the rectangular coil, current carrying rectangular coil that is placed within the magnetic field. This is the direction of the magnetic field. Are you clear? You have to assume that this is the direction of the magnetic field. You have to assume like this. This is the direction of the magnetic field. Forefinger shows the direction of magnetic field. And the middle finger that shows the direction of the current. It goes down, that is traveling from P to Q. Are you clear? Now look at my thumb. That thumb that shows the direction of the, look at that. Forefinger shows the direction of the magnetic field. Middle finger shows the direction of the current. Are you clear? Thumb shows the direction of the Lorentz force. So this is the direction of the Lorentz force in the arm PQ. The arm PQ, this is the direction of the Lorentz force. So one force is acting. The strength of the Lorentz force is Bill sin theta. Are you clear? And then look at the another arm. Here SR arm. Here the same current that flows in the opposite direction. If you apply the Fleming left-hand rule, the direction of Lorentz force could be found in this direction. So here one Lorentz force is acting, here another Lorentz force is acting. two equal and opposite forces, they causes a deflecting couple. For example, if it is kept in the magnetic field means, because of this what will happen? The deflection that happens in this direction. This deflection is called deflecting couple. Are you clear? So I am going to write the formula for deflecting couple. So what is the formula for deflecting couple? The deflecting couple is due to the flow of current. Understand this. Deflecting couple is equal to, the formula is N. What is N? Total number of turns in the coil. Several number of turns in the coil are there. Are you clear? Here, any one of the forces. What is this? Any one of the forces. Therefore, we can write it as Lorentz force F into distance. In between two forces, what is the perpendicular distance? B is the perpendicular distance. So we can write it as B. Number of turns, any one of the forces, into perpendicular distance between these two forces is called B. So further you expand it. N, Lorentz force formula is B I L sin theta into B. Are you clear? This is the formula. So now we can combine B with L. N B I L B sin theta. So this is the formula. Here, as I have told earlier, I showed the direction of Lorentz force with the help of Fleming left hand rule. No. So this is the direction of the magnetic field. This is the direction of Lorentz force. This is the direction of the current. Are you clear? In between the current and the magnetic field, what is the angle now? The angle is 90 degree. Are you clear? Therefore, instead of theta, we can substitute 90 degree. Are you clear? So maximum Lorentz force will be acting here. So sin 90 can be taken as 1. Therefore, NBI L into B can be written. What is L into B? This is length of the coil. This is the breadth of the coil. If length and breadth, if both are multiplied, you will get area. Therefore, we can write it as NBI. LB into B can be replaced by A. This is the deflecting couple created in the rectangular coil when current flows. Are you clear? Now, look at here. So this is the couple which is created when current flows. Are you clear? Now, let us imagine the current is stopped. The flow of current is stopped. As soon as the current is stopped, what will happen? The coil has to come back to the normal position. So, when the coil is turned due to deflecting couple, what will happen to the spring? Here in this spring there will be a twist. Here this spring will be twisted. This one is made up of possible bronze. So when the coil is twisted like this, the spring will be twisted. Again I want to show the spring. Look at that. Here there is a spring. Are you able to see this? Here there is a spring. In this galvanometer there is a spring. Are you clear? If it is not able to be seen clearly, I will show the spring here. Look at that. This is a spring in which potential energy will be stored up when the coil is turned. Are you clear? That potential energy will be stored now. With the help of the potential energy stored up, we are able to bring back the coil to the normal position when the current is not flowing. Are you clear? Now this coil that is to be restored back normal to the condition. That's why the couple which is created by the spring is called as, what is this? Restoring couple. With the help of the spring, where the potential energy is stored up now, that spring that provides the restoring couple. Now I am going to write the formula for restoring couple. That restoring couple is mainly provided by which part? The spring part. Are you clear? Now this is the deflecting couple direction. Are you clear? Are you clear? Now the current is tapped. Immediately what will happen now? Restoring couple will be created. Now I am going to change the position of the forces. Are you clear? Now I am changing the position of the forces. Now the forces, they will be acting in the opposite direction. Are you clear? Look at that. Deflecting couple acts in this direction means restoring couple will be acting in the opposite direction. I want to show you in a proper form. This is the direction of deflecting couple. This is the direction of restoring couple. So restoring couple is provided by these springs. So springs are responsible for restoring couple. The formula is K theta. So this is called formula for restoring couple. Here K, you have to understand what is K. That K is called couple per unit twist. What is this? Couple per unit twist. This restoring couple is mainly provided by whom? The springs, where energy is stored up. Are you clear? So deflecting couple, due to deflecting couple, the coil, it turns like this. Due to restoring couple, the same coil, it will be turned back to the normal position. Because of that, the pointer and the galvanometer, it will be brought back to the normalcy. Are you clear? So this is in the case of the galvanometer which are used in the lab. Are you clear? Here, look at that. Here the light travels in this direction. It is reflected back here. When current flows, what will happen? Because of the twist, because of the deflecting couple, the light gets reflected, and the deflected mirror, because of reflection, the position of the image will be shifted from here to there. Are you clear? When the coil turns, since the mirror is attached on the positive branch, the mirror also gets deflected. Automatically, due to the deflection of the mirror, light also gets deflected. So the reflected light will be deflected. Are you clear? Up to certain extent. Are you clear? When the current is cut off, when the current is not flowing, due to restoring couple, what will happen? This coil will come back to the normalcy. Therefore, the reflected light will go back to zero only because of restoring couple. Are you clear? So this is in the case of moving coil galvanometer. In the lab, are you clear? In the lab, how it will be? Due to the restoring couple, the pointer will be like this. The pointer gets deflected like this. Are you clear? It gets deflected like this. Due to restoring couple, it will be coming back like this. That is the difference between the moving coil galvanometer and ordinary galvanometers which are used in the lab. Are you clear? So restoring couple is equal to K theta. So these two are acting in the opposite direction, but they are equal in their magnitude. Therefore, deflecting couple will be equal to restoring couple. Are you clear? Substitute now N B I A, which is equal to restoring couple. Are you clear? Now what is required? We would like to measure the strength of the current now. With the help of the galvanometer, we are able to detect and we are able to find out the strength of the current. Therefore, I can be kept in LHS side. The rest of the factors can be written in the RHS side. K divided by N B A. Theta can be written outside. Are you clear? So I is equal to K divided by N B A theta. Here K is called couple per unit twist. That couple per unit twist is mainly based on the nature of the spring. Are you clear? That you have to understand. Here, that couple per unit twist, number of turns in the rectangular coil, and then strength of the magnetic field and the area of the coil, all are constants. Therefore, everything can be replaced. Are you clear? In bracket, everything can be written K divided by NBA. In bracket, we can write the theta alone can be written outside. So I is directly proportional to theta. This is the formula. The meaning is, when the strength of the current is more, automatically the angle of deflection will be more. Are you clear? The angle of deflection will be more. For example, if more current flows, what will happen? The deflection in the galvanometer, also within the coil there will be a deflection. No, due to deflection, light also gets deflected with a greater angle. The strength of the current is more, the angle of deflection will also be more. So the angle of deflection itself, it shows that the strength of the current is more. When the deflection is less, strength of the current also will be less. Are you clear? So the theta is the measure of the strength of the current. Are you clear? So very important one. Here, this portion can be replaced by a constant. This entire thing can be replaced by a constant called G, and theta can be written. So what is G? G is called galvanometer constant. What is this? Galvanometer constant. Are you clear? Otherwise can also be called as current reduction factor of the galvanometer. G can be named in two ways: galvanometer constant or current reduction factor of the galvanometer. So there are two names for G. Are you clear? Very simple derivation from which we are able to calculate the strength of the current in the galvanometer. By knowing the value of K, theta, N, B, A, we are able to measure the strength of the current here. Mainly it is used for just to detect the flow of current. So this is called moving coil galvanometer. But we are not using this moving coil galvanometer in the lab. Are you clear? Usually it is used only in college levels. The galvanometers which are used in the lab, it will be very compact. Such kind of galvanometers are called pointer type galvanometer. What is this? Pointer type galvanometer. But this galvanometer is very sensitive. It is used to measure or to detect the very least amount of current. Are you clear? Such necessity never arises in the physics lab in school level. That's why we are using pointer type galvanometers. Okay. May be asked in essay question. Be thorough with the answers. Thank you.